The idea is there's 20,000 units of sales happening consistently in this fast 160 class, as it were, and now KTM wants a part of that pie too.
Okay. And this is the first time we are seeing a 160 anywhere from KTM.
This is a global exclusive and an India-only motorcycle as of now.
India only?
Yeah, there's no plan to export this motorcycle.
Oh.
And KTM has basically indicated saying we'll see about exports. As of now, I don't even think it's on their radar. They just wanted to work in India. And they've put in a surprising amount of work into this motorcycle, where now the 390 is relatively recent, the 250 is relatively recent, and that's one family of KTMs where the connections between those two motorcycles are pretty close. The 200, 125 and 160 are pretty close too. We're going to ignore the 125 completely because it's irrelevant to India. But the 200 is now the weakest of the KTMs in the sense of this motorcycle, the 160, has so many updates that should go to the 200, but that's going to take time to happen.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'd kind of forgotten about it also.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So to remind you of the KTM 200 Duke, handles well, etc., etc. The key thing about the 200 you should remember, and we'll come back to the 160 also, is the fact that that is an engine that likes being revved up. It's a 25 bhp engine, and it's not very strong off the bottom. And to really enjoy the performance, you have to rev it out. That's just context. I'm not saying the 160 is like this. Now, the 160, 125, 200 are part of the same family of engines.
160?
125 and 200 is one family. But they learnt doing the SOHC on the 250, which is the other family. So now this is also an SOHC engine.
Okay.
And as Bajaj likes to say, yeah, but you won't notice any difference. It feels just like a DOHC. Okay? I'm not going to go into it. But the bore and stroke of this engine both are different from the 200, although this is a 200 based engine.
Bore and stroke, a stroke.
Both are different. Okay. So when you do that much work, then you go from DOHC to SOHC. Even if you remain same on the gearing, if you remain same on the crank, etc., you're effectively building a brand new engine. So this is now a 19 bhp engine.
This is not related to any other Bajaj, right?
No, this is a 100% KTM project. Bajaj might have learnt a few things from here that will go back.
Because there is a Pulsar 160, right?
Again, Bajaj shares learnings constantly. Bajaj shares platforms very infrequently. And most of the time, KTM platforms have given birth to Bajaj platforms and not the other way around. Right? So the Dominar engine was clearly based on the 390. And there was a 33 bhp version, then a 38 bhp version. The same sort of thing can be said about the NS400Z, but the NS400Z's origin is the Dominar, not technically the 390 Duke. This is, to me, a standalone engine, which might help a Bajaj engine later in time, maybe. This is my guess. But is it currently connected to anything? Only the 200 Duke. But when you change bore stroke, the head of the engine, as it were, you're effectively working on a brand new engine. Right? So the engine itself is 1 kilo lighter than before. Because they said...
Lighter than what before?
The 200cc engine, for example. And the idea is that they said lightness is key to this segment. And just for the record, the MT-15 is even lighter than this motorcycle, still, even today. But because they went after lightness and they built a brand new engine, this engine is 1 kilo lighter, which stands to reason that when they update the 200, that engine will also become lighter. But you should get this. They lost 12 kilos of weight over the 200 Duke, although the engine itself is only 1 kilo lighter. That's a massive weight reduction. Which is what I'm saying. It sounds like they just took a Lego set and sort of built a new thing out of it. There's a lot of work in that.
12 kilos?
Yeah.
And only one from the engine?
Only one from the engine.
Okay, curious.
So they've basically gone, as they like to say, they've gone over the bike with a fine-tooth comb and they've removed everything that they could where weight could be shaped.
Like?
So for example, it has generation 3 Duke wheels and those discs. And that is 2.5 kilos in unsprung mass alone. And I cannot underline how critical it is in terms of the improvement in behavior when unsprung mass starts to disappear from the bike. So out of this 12 kilos, 2.5 is straight from there. Then they looked at the trellis frame and they optimized the trellis frame too. So all the tubing is similar diameter, but it is thinner materials and all of that, so that they can control the stiffness, but the frame itself becomes lighter. Foot peg hangers, and so on and so forth. Every single part of the bike, there's some amount of weight loss, which totals up to 12 kilos in total. Okay? One of the elements that I don't know how you will perceive it, although I don't see a functional issue, is that the rear tire used to be a 150 on all of the bikes. This is running a 140 now. So does the MT. The MT has a 70 section sidewall. This is a 60 section sidewall, so there's a slight differential there. The front forks similarly are shorter in length overall. They're about 12 mm shorter, so it makes the bike cant forward a little bit. But KTM then put risers on the handlebar and raised them so that your riding position is the same as the Duke 200 Generation 2.
Wow.
And the surprise is, most of it makes sense when you ride the motorcycle.
The KTM 160 Duke is about 12 kilos lighter than the KTM 200 Duke. And that number really got my attention. We've really gotten into the details of the 160 Duke. It's there in the entire conversation. You've just seen a small clip of that, but you can find the entire conversation on the MotorInc app, where the MotorInc First of the KTM 160 Duke is playing.